No countdown?
Oh,
no countdown?
Give me a second. Here we go.
I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are having a celebration of sorts. I've been in this for 14 years. I don't know how long Captain's been in it. I don't know how long Brian's been in it or Doc, but I've been in it for 14 years. I was thinking about what I thought of my country when I was a child. And the one thing I always held true to and held on to was the Pledge of Allegiance we had to do every morning, first class. Okay? I never realized how important it was. That's why I played it. So with this in mind, I'm going to jump ahead to the end, and I'm going to tell you that we are going to have some intel, but it's going to be at the end of the show because we have a lot of things to discuss. There's a lot of things going on, and Captain's got information. I've got information. Brian's got insight, and Doc is always on top of things. And we want to thank Doc for providing us this platform of HamiltonRadio.net and his YouTube channel, and we appreciate him so much. We wouldn't be here without Doc G, okay? End of story. No, there wouldn't be no chances chat on the internet without him, okay? So with that in mind, everybody wants to know a rate, a date, and everybody's going to get a different rate, and everybody's going to get a different date. We'll find out more at the end of the show. But I did get some very good information, and this is pertinent to everybody, and I just hope it's accurate. Okay, hi Sarah. Wendy's here. Sarah's here. Okay, guys. There's a back wall date that everybody has to be notified by. The back wall date, according to my source, is November 6th. Figure that one out. Figure out November 6th, the day after the supposed election. I'm of the opinion that sharing the same opinion that Captain Marvel Jr. says, and that is that there's going to be an election. Okay, there's just too many things without her being properly into the nomination process, and so it's just kind of like she's in there as a free fall or something like that. And if she hasn't made enough mistakes and stepped on her toes long enough for you, any of you people that are just completely falling off the left, I don't know how to convince you. You know, if there is a vote Trump. If you vote for Kabbalah, you are voting for socialism. You are voting for the Communist Party. You are voting for everything that you've worked for and slaved for to be gone. You will not own anything, and you will be happy about it. Okay? Are you ready for that? And if you are on the fence about Kabbalah, Hello, Susan. Hello, everyone. It's good to see you all. If you're on the fence about that, I would suggest you go get your head right. Because one way or the other, Donald Trump is going to be your president, whether you like it or not. And I have nothing to say about it. Doc has nothing to say about it. Brian has nothing to say about it. And Captain has nothing to say about it.
I do have
It's
something to say
in upstairs. He's in charge.
but I
Oh,
do
you
have
do have something to say? Okay.
about it. Yes. And
Go
the
ahead.
reason why I wanted to throw in this bonus feature, it doesn't really matter because it's not about you. It really
That's right.
is. Whether you vote or don't vote, it's the psychological as well as the physical as well as the spiritual warfare that's going on. It really isn't about you. It's about all of them that are doing the things that don't represent humanity. That also means the common people, the dum-dums, the people that are ripping ballots, hiding ballots, changing ballots. It's the stupid people that don't know what happens to them if it's like martial law behind the scenes. Treason is a very serious matter, extremely serious. That's like life in prison, or worse. It's weeding out the populace because they don't need to be here. They're not for the people. Back to you. Oh, you're chewing food. Okay.
Yeah, well, I'll
Nice.
tell you what, it is a choice. It is, as somebody pointed out, it is a choice of good and evil. You've got to pick a side. You don't have a choice. You cannot sit on the fence. You're on the right side of history, or you're not, or you're with God, or you're not. I mean, it's as simple as that. And I mean, look, I'm not going to push the Bible on anybody here, but I believe in God, and I don't have a problem talking about it. But we are definitely living through the tribulations that were told of and prophesied in the Bible, in Revelation, and we've got to recognize it. But yeah, a vote for Harris will if you vote for Harris, you're going to destroy America. You will, because she will do it for you, and she will do it so fast your head will spin. Right?
But she
Her
won't go.
policies have not changed in all the time. She is still a socialist Marxist. So, I have a very strong interest in American politics for the reason that anything that happens in American politics affects the rest of the world. Right? I said that in the last show, and it's true. And I think we need to really, even as people who are outside the United States and not eligible to vote, we do need to throw our support behind President Trump. Give him that moral support. The world give him the moral support to do what he's going to do, because he is King Cyrus incarnate. All right? And
Absolutely.
And he is, King Cyrus was not the best of men by any stretch of the imagination, but he was used by God to protect his people, and that's exactly what Donald Trump is doing right now. So, we've got to get behind him. But as I said prior to this show, this election is too big to fail. But the thing is, it won't get to the vote. But you got to be prepared to go out and vote, as Chance said, just in case they do go ahead with the election. But I don't believe it's going to happen at all. So I'll put it back to you, Chance, or Brian.
I want to tell you how things are changing. Okay, even before the election, I got some really good news. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I was talking. Of course, Captain was with us last week for the first time. This is his return, and we're happy to have him. The week before that, I was talking to you about a lady that I told her I said, don't poke the bear. Her name was Vera. She's a 74-year-old woman that got sentenced to 2 years in the Mitchellville Women's Facility in Mitchellville, Iowa. Okay? I'm not going to tell you her last name. And anyway, you've heard me talk about the Express Trust. They only work in the United States. You have to have an EIN number. You have to have the lessons. And the lady that does the Express Trust is going to start giving classes, okay, 2-hour classes. Once you have the Express Trust from her, she's going to give you a 2-hour class for about $10, okay? And she's going to teach you how to talk in front of these judges. And my opinion is you're going to need it because it's not all going to go down at once. It's going to be a gradual transformation. Certain areas are going to get into common law and the end of admiralty law, but it's going to spread like wildfire. But in the meantime, you may have a court case pending. Well, Vera was put into solitary confinement because she was talking about Jesus. Okay? So that we can't have any of that Jesus talk in Mitchellville prison, for this hardened 74-year-old woman. But our people served the Express Trust documents on the warden at the Mitchellville prison, and he kicked her out. He didn't want no part of it. He knew what was getting ready to happen. By him kicking her out, he may have just saved his own bacon, because that's treason. Okay, warring against the people. And he kicked her out, and she went back to the county. Now, as soon as the letter or the email gets to the judge from the warden of the Mitchellville facilities, I got a feeling that Vera will be getting out of the county jail very soon. I'm expecting sometime next week. Now, this is just advice to the judge, okay? I don't know his name. I could find out. I probably got it in my paperwork anyway. But this is my advice to that judge, okay? Cash in your stocks, your bonds, get all the cash you can. Get in your car, go buy a used car and put it in somebody else's name, and you better head for the border or get across the pond or something, because I'm telling you right now, your ass is done, okay? You're done. Okay, you just don't know it yet. So what's funny is how many people actually share these videos, and I wouldn't be surprised if it got to him. And that's why I said it. That's why I was blatant about it, because he's criminal. She was not in any way, shape, or form allowed to talk, defend herself, or given due process. She was just, he is the law. He thinks sits on that throne in his black robe, and he thinks he's God Almighty and that he's running the whole county. Well, Judge, your days are numbered. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Your days are numbered. Okay. So that's good news. Vera, we feel she's very close. We just filed an emergency appeal with the state of Iowa, and served the same papers upon them. So this is why Maria Janet is going to start doing these classes, because people see that guy in that black robe and they get scared. Well, they should be scared, because he will break the law. He will break the Constitution. He will break anything to get what he wants. And the only thing he really wants, he don't give a damn whether you live or die. All he gives a damn about is the money. Okay? He's there for the money. He don't care whether somebody breaks the law or not. It's just another opportunity for him to put more money in his pocket. Well, he better get his money, and he better get it out of the bank, and he better head for the border, because I'm telling you, he's done. He is done. And I have made a special note to my contact at the White Hats And I should know this guy's name because I gave it to the white hats. We have total lawlessness in his fake corporate cabal government. All cockroaches impersonating foreign agents. That's exactly right. You're exactly right. And admiralty law, admiralty maritime courts are just, they're about as illegal as you can get. Because here you've got a bar attorney, British accredited registry, and the judge came from the British accredited registry, and they are all Masons, and it's their world, and they don't want you living in it. They want all your assets, and you to go someplace and die, and they don't even want to give you a decent burial. You're just a piece of crap to them, okay? And if you don't think that isn't what it's about, it is. We had another attorney here in Fort Madison. Everybody liked him. I won't say his full name, but his name was Carl. Everybody liked Carl. I used to see him at the diner once in a while, and we'd talk. And my son was actually his son's best friend in high school until his son died in a tragic car accident. And Carl died about 6-8 weeks ago, and I didn't even know. I don't get the paper, so I don't read any of that crap. But Carl is learning lessons right now. He is learning lessons, and they're hard lessons. And there's more to eternity than the few years that we're living on this realm. There's a lot more to eternity. Your soul is eternal. It just depends, how do you want to spend eternity? Do you want to spend it in fire, or do you want to spend it with the Father? I'll pick the Father. Okay? So that's what's going on in my little corner of the world. We've been doing real good. If you want to get it, if you've got court problems and you want to get an express trust, or $2,500, and the classes are going to start next week. Okay? We're actually seeing the express trust put into action and working right now. And we've got one gentleman down in Missouri who we've been having some difficulties getting the EIN numbers, but once we get them, he's going to be involved in the classes, and we're going to be rocking and rolling in his. And but everything's weird. Everything's not like you think it is, because we're in such a transitional phase. And what worked last year may not work today, and may not even be in the language. And I'm going to ask Captain Marvel a question while I continue. Has the PED Act been repealed yet? I can't hear you. Unmute, Captain.
Yeah, sorry. Not that I'm aware of, Chance. Diaz brought up a point. I've been screaming about this for decades. They will not even take the Admiralty Law gold fringe off our flag. Well, the thing is, the flag, that flag is a military flag, all right? And the flag that you understand to be the flag of the United States is not actually the flag. It's the flag. The peace flag is the actual flag. So if you look up peace flag, you'll see that, and that will be replacing the one that is currently flying. But it's a military. It's been a military flag all along. Okay, it's a military ensign essentially. Just for clarification. But yeah, I'm not aware of the PED Act being repealed. Not as yet. But I would say it's going to happen soon.
When the PED Act gets repealed, and the Chevron Act has already been repealed, so the PED Act is, I think, as far as courts go, is the only thing we're really waiting for, because that's why they've been able to war against we the people, is because the Admiralty Maritime Courts are corrupt. They know what he's done, and they're saying this is our chance to really bury these guys, and they've
Yeah.
done it a lot. Drew is in Colorado. He's in jail. Doc MH is in Ohio. She's a friend of mine. She was put in a mental institution. It wouldn't do her any good to have an express trust because of the simple fact she's like my niece. My niece and Doc MH not only sound alike, but they act alike. They get into a situation and they want to tell you everything, every detail, every bit of drama that they have in their life. And these courts don't want to hear it. You start putting drama in it and they're going to put you away because they want you to shut the F up. Okay. And the judges won't do anything like that. Where you have to get to them is in the paperwork. You let your paperwork speak for you, and that's what you can do with the Express Trust. The Express Trust is $2,500. If you want to get one, send me an email to chancemusic@yahoo.com. Between me and Maria Janet, we can help you with that. Also, there's some what was I going to say? I just had a brain fart. Captain, what do you got coming from Australia today?
Well, in the last few days, a number of flights have been flying from north to south and landing near the wellness camps that they built for COVID-19. And I would suggest that they're actually taking people to the wellness camps already. The arrests are underway. That's one thing that's come across. And as I shared with you, the 13th of October on the Julian calendar is a Friday, and it falls on the 31st, which is Halloween, and that has not happened in 666 years. So don't be scared, guys. Nothing's going to happen.
But that's not all.
Oh,
Also,
no.
But there's
there
interstellar.
Sorry?
I was going to say there's interstellar stuff happening on your neck of the woods too.
Oh yeah.
So
it's all happening, folks. It really is. I mean, it's a great time to be alive. It truly is. A bit scary at times, but we will muddle through. If you've survived so far, you'll survive what's coming. That's my belief in it.
What I was going to say was, so there's something to consider. So there's been a lot of specific types of fleet ships leaving a lot of underground facilities in your location of Australia. And a lot of them have been looking and representing as cargo ships. So you have to still ask questions why, so to speak, because you just don't know. And it could be that, and you also have to keep in mind that there are still parts of the Federation, for better or worse, that are not necessarily for you. They're not for the people being elevated, but possibly they may be transferring a lot of the lower things, whether they are identities of people or whatnot, that just as part of the cleanup. Again, you have to look at it as more of not them exhibiting as being a hero, but more of like an anti-hero. So there is a selfishness to it, because I'm very skeptical of the behavior of everything. I have to always ask a lot of questions and look at multiple points of view, especially since there's so much in lack of transparency. But in case you're wondering why the Australian people have that long ass, fence there, it's because that's where all those facilities are. And it's a no-fly zone for a reason. So you're still being taken advantage of.
Oh yeah, but the thing is, it's all starting to be exposed now. I mean, the multiple layers of building underneath the Sydney Opera House. which is Cabal, right? You know, the 70 plus levels below Pine Gap. That's all starting to come out now. I mean, you know, it's not, nothing is what it appears to be. And you know, as I say, these planes that were flying to the wellness camps are obviously, in my view, dropping, you know, these the wrongdoers off into these wellness camps where they're going to be held for trial. It's as simple as that. So, I mean, the US are happening; they're happening worldwide. You know, you know, we're in a situation where there is a final clean out of these the subterranean entities, shall we say? And you know, we've got wildfires happening in the United States, and those wildfires are going scorched earth over those areas and near the tunnel entrances, which were, you know, DUMS for a better terminology, which is a disused underground military base, or, you know, like that. So, and people who deny that there are DUMS, I got to tell you, what is the Cheyenne Mountain Complex? It's an underground dump, right? But it's not a dump; it's actually in use. So, but all of these entities that are underneath, they're getting brought out. They've had the hurricanes, which has exposed a lot of them. They got them out. They're getting them out now. I'd say, you know, now with the wildfires that are happening in the States, Southern California, I believe there's a big wildfire down there. These areas are going to be, they got nowhere to run when they come out. You know, when they come out of this, if they come out, they're getting taken out. So, yeah, that's all happening. What else is happening? Evergrande was deregistered today, which was really, really good. That's going to affect the housing market worldwide. Could drop a zero off the value of your property yet. And this is all in preparation for the QFS. Chance knows about this. He's going to give intel about that later. But yeah, this is a very major step forward. And as I said, in the videos that I did, we've now got a timeline going on, and today Chance is going to tighten that timeline up a little bit more at the end of the show. So that's why I say this show. That's why I said to you guys that this show would be explosive in a good way, and I'm glad you all came across to join this show. And I want you to stay in touch with Chance's show too, guys, as well as mine. Don't forget me. But Chance and I are very much on the same page. I think Brian and I are also very much on the same page as well. And we've got a really good and Doc, who's away from the keyboard at the present moment, by the look of it. You know, we've all got this very special connection. And what we're trying to do is make that connection grow with everybody that watches us. So, I'll turn it over to you now, Chance.
Well, you were talking about the floods and everything, and there was I know everybody's seen it because it was all over the internet, but the sheriff down there arrested 157 Disney employees and contractors that were
sheriff, right? Yeah.
And that's what happened. They come out of the tunnels. They didn't have any place to go, and they knew that the tunnels were the only place they knew. They knew who they were. The White Hats knew who they were, but they're just waiting for them to come out, and they drowned them out, and they came out, and bam. So the United States is part of BRICS. That is right. Be happy. It just hasn't been announced yet. BRICS equals GASARA. That is correct. Biggest sting operation in the world. Yep. Bye-bye, international bankers, because we are going to be our own bankers. That is correct. USA is part of BRICS. You just don't know it yet. That's right. You are absolutely right. You're dead on. Now, let me explain something to you that I see in my little Mayberry here. Right down the alley, a block from my house. Okay, what is a WISE account? Okay, we're going to cover that in a few minutes.
Or go watch old videos.
Yeah, go to YouTube and watch videos. Go to YouTube and watch videos. I'll give you the Reader's Digest version, okay? But go watch videos on YouTube. And if I was you, I'd be doing it tonight. And I was you, I'd be setting up my account tonight because this thing could pop anytime. And
And
you
it
could
only takes 10 minutes to set it up too.
yeah. And here's the thing: you could put $50 in there, and you could wake up tomorrow morning and possibly have 2.2, 2.4, $2.5 million in there. Okay, I have been telling everybody about this for over a year and a half about the Wise account.
Or chance they could do what I say, which is don't do anything.
No, don't do anything. Yeah, just sit there and wait for. I'm pretty proud. I really am pretty proud of the fact that I brought a lot of people to the table, and I'm going to make them millionaires. And so much for Anthony Robbins and his 7 foot tall frame, and he's going. I could make you a millionaire, and you just got to listen to me. Hey, it's not that hard.
That's how he became a millionaire.
How's that?
He got everybody to listen to him.
Yeah.
That's how he became a millionaire.
Yeah. Oh, and well, okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain the Wise account. It's a multi-currency international account. It's not a bank.
Not a bank.
Not a bank. It's an account. It is based in the United Kingdom, but has offices in the United States, and it's tied to a couple of banks so that it can have FDIC and FSLIC protection. But that doesn't make any difference anyway, because FDIC and all that crap letter shit is all bulk, because they're broke. Okay, they're broke. FDIC's broke. Fannie Mae, broke. Freddie Mac, broke. United States government, bankrupt.
And they're compliant.
Huh?
I said, and they are compliant. IS,
yep.
222 compliant.
Yep. And when it changes value, right now you can buy for $50 about 1.2 million. And you won't be able to order your debit card for a while, but you will be able to transfer funds into your bank account once you tie your bank account into your Wise account. And you can put $50 in there, and it's going to come up at about 1.2 million Vietnamese dong. You want to save the currency in Vietnamese dong. Don't save it in US dollars. That's not going to do you any good. Now, you will have a balance of 1.2 million for $50, about 1.2 million Vietnamese dong, VND. But you'll also have a balance up here of about $50. Okay? It's a multi-currency account. Now, when the button is pushed, what you will see is you will still see that you have 1.2 million Vietnamese dong. But up here in the equivalent will be $2.5 million. Okay? Do you see why I'm telling you to get a Wise account? What is the app for putting money in? It's called wise.com. But you've got to set the account up online, and then, yeah, he's got a card. I've got a card. All God's children got a card that has a Wise account. Now, the truth of the matter is, you do not, if you have to talk to somebody and you need help setting up your account, if you talk to somebody at customer service, listen to me and listen to me well. Do not talk to them about the GCR RV. Do not talk to them about it. They don't know about it. They're not going to know about it until it's over. And then they're going to say, shirt fire and save matches, because I could have put, I could have had my mom put $50 in there. Okay. So you're in a private club here. You join the Wise account, get your Wise account set up, and then you can add to it. But I'm telling you, this thing could flip tonight. Captain, do you agree?
Absolutely. It can flip any time between now and the projected election. That's the time frame, right? Well, I mean, seriously, everything has been lined up.
So from an objective standpoint, sorry for cutting you off, there's flexibility, there's room. So you just can't assume. You're just going to have to go with the flow. I'm sorry, people.
Yep.
And just to make a quick comment on the EBS, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when it goes off, as long as the
Goes
idea,
off.
yeah, so that's what you really want. Be surprised. You're in this very cool school or crap school for a reason, right? It's to observe, process, move forward, and just don't give it your energy. Don't. So, I'm just going to take a little bit of time, and I just wish, if it's all right between both of you or everyone, I'm going to introduce myself to the new audience, and I know a lot of you probably saw the previous one. So my name's Brian, even though that is not who I am as my higher self. So I am fully, just to give you a ballpark of who I am, what I'm about. I am a scalar density. If I could give you a number, it's between 5 and 6 scalar in frequency. That is my natural state of being. I am angelic in nature without giving you the whole spiel of what I look like, who I am, and I do have a name. My real name is actually Daskany. That is the real authentic I am before I was human. So I am a guest here. I am a starseed wanderer. I am here not necessarily for the people. I'm here to assist the planet. We all have different jobs. I'm also here to assist in astral realm matters. Perfect example. I was totally devoid of anything and everything last night. I was blocked, blacked out. I woke up very sore, very like I was doing stuff that I don't even remember my body doing, but my body felt the right repercussions. So I do a lot of things from the astral side. And the only reason why I came on here is because I'm attempting to assist. And what does it mean to attempt to assist as a spiritual Christ conscious being? It means I'm giving you, the human, the opportunity to take cookies out of my cookie jar to see if you like the flavor. If you don't like the flavor, don't adopt it. You pick. I'm not here to conform you. I'm here to inform you, but I also don't mince words. I'm actually pretty straightforward. I'm pretty blunt, but I also talk with logical, critical thinking, and from an objective standpoint. And anything that I say, I make sure that it represents my core values, which is neutrality and transparency with authenticity. Those are a must for me. And it has to do with understanding energy. I do a lot of energy work. Okay, so that said, there was a comment or the last couple of weeks ago, someone said that I don't believe in Jesus. And here's the reason why the name doesn't matter. And I'm just going to tell it to you from my standpoint. They do not want to be idolized. You should know better. As a Christ conscious individual, they only wish you to be empowered by your own Christ conscience. They want you to be on your own Mount Rushmore. They're already standing on theirs. I'm already standing on mine, and I'm doing my little wave. And we're Salute going, "What's up, dude?" He's like, "You're doing good." I'm like, "I'm doing great. I'm equal to you. I'm standing on my own mountain." That's what they want. That's how all Christ conscious individuals wish to represent. They want you to take the best of them, of the knowledge that they give, and you walk your path. It's really important to see that when you're reading spells, scripture, and consuming it, not just the words, it's the energy. You have to understand the energy and how it's informing you, how it's processing you. Is it invasive or is it natural and transparent? There is a lot of spell casting in the words that have kept you from your expansion from a natural format. So here's something to consider. And before I move on, I guess I should talk to all the villains, because the villains are listening too. And as someone who knows how to also be, and also I guess I should clarify. So I am both a light and dark being, meaning I have parents that are on both sides of the same coin as a higher conscious individual. It's choice, right? Because there's no limits to creation. It's so I can understand the darker aspect of not only myself, but how a villain can usurp or be an even better villain toward a villain. So it's still pretty powerful because we all decide how we wish to navigate, even though I reflect transparency and the lighter side. But when it comes down to it, you have to think about how archangels, which I also am a representative as such, we have to get our hands dirty sometime, and it's not pretty. You're not going to find a fluffy, heavenly, divine being that is all about rainbows and unicorns that's going to go to these things and say, will you be peace and loving and just leave? That's kind of like wishful thinking. But that said, to all the villains, I encourage you to observe what if scenarios, a lot of what if scenarios of you getting caught, you getting punished, executed, you name it, because it's bound to happen. The severity is only going to get worse and worse and increase, and you're going to have to pay that karmic debt for a very, very long time. If you don't believe me, you may want to recheck the energy field. Ascension, and I've said this before, ascension is a very powerful time. The numbers are amplified. The more atrocities you do, no matter how big or small, because when energies become lighter, the cost becomes greater. Consciousness and source have a way of recalibrating when there is a great shift or a great change when it comes. It is not only on the physical side, it's on the astral side. I know what it's like to pay a hefty toll as a dark worker. It is very costly. You wouldn't even comprehend, nor would you want to experience it. It is terrifyingly uncomfortable and painful to walk into vessels as you're getting murdered on battlefields just to pay what you did in a previous lifetime. But I understood it as someone who is a master of energy from that energy dynamic. So choose. For all you dark villains, you're going to need to choose. So if you give up sooner rather than later, even if your journey ends, you can make peace with some of what you have done, but the harshness and the return when you do have to pay is going to be less in years and probably less difficult within your hardships when you have to mirror that in physicality once again, because the door swings both ways. You have to be the victim if you're the villain, and it's still a choice and it's still part of the journey. So keep that in mind. So here's my objective opinion on, again, kind of the state of things. So the energies are increasing, and I have noticed that because since I pick up around 15 to 17 ringtones 24/7 since 8 years back, when they get super loud, that means there's an elevation. That also means I have to readjust my perception to put a dampening field so I create it as backdrop noise. It takes time. because it does interfere with my day-to-day life. That's how I know my frequency is elevating and rising too. But again, this is from my own personal experience and journey, because my ascension isn't going to match the humans. Okay, I have a different way of going about my journey compared to everybody else. But it's something that you should pay attention to. And I'm going to give you a nice tool, and this is a gift from the Christ conscious individuals. They would like you to really pay attention to your words. And it's more so, if you have a notebook, if you have a pen or pencil, and if you're feeling something, write it down. Like, take time. Don't be in a hurry. Write down every word that is spoken out of your mouth, because words have power, and it's better to know what you're saying before you throw them out, whether a tangent or actionary, versus being well informed and having a well thought out expression, meaning you leave the emotion out of it. You have a higher concept of clarity, but also identifying a greater feeling about it. And a perfect example is, you want to leave words that kind of leave a sour taste in your mouth out, because you're going to mirror it back, because there is the law of mirrors, and it works continuously. It works in the form of how you feel, whether you speak or not, how you project images, or how you say things. So if you can take time and write out, and then look at it, and if you say it wrong, you rewrite it, because you're breaking a contract. And what I saw today, or not today, it was yesterday, like a person that posts spiritual things, she knows who she is. She posted something about affirmations, 10 affirmations you could do. I looked at those affirmations, at least half of them were garbage, literal garbage, because they had nothing to do of representing the now moment. It wasn't a statement. It left so much room. It was like, when is it going to happen? Words have power. You have to restructure the language for your own realm and journey. And this is also the Christ conscious individual chiming in. They said that's ascension from a minute format. It's part of it. It's part of understanding you are more than just the avatar. So play with the words, be the programmer of your reality, and rewrite your scripts. It's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of energy, and it's not easy. I've got 8 years over so many people because I've already done the hard work. But the best part is, once you understand, you go on autopilot. No different than riding a bike. That is exactly what you want. So that is what they wish to bring to the table. And I do too, since I am just them in the end. Back to you, Chance.
Okay, thank you. I want to address a few things. First of all, somebody said we're a bunch of lying scumbags. Okay. Well, who was that?
I don't know what that means, first of all. I thought they were talking about somebody else. So let's see what that says. We're going to go back
Okay.
to that.
Yeah, we don't allow that kind of stuff on here. Total crap, same old lies. Okay. Paulo Haddon. I'm addressing you now. We're not here to blow smoke up your rear. Okay. I was offered $50,000 several months ago to sell the rights to my show to keep on it as host, and I'm broke as a joke. Okay, I do this for donations. Okay, and but they wanted to control my narrative. They wanted to control what I said and who I brought on. I'm not gonna sell out. We're not taking any YouTube money. We're not taking any Google money. We're not taking any Facebook money. Okay. If you think we're lying scumbags, total crap, same old lies. If you're referring to us, I take that personal. And if I could block you, I would. Okay. If you are talking to us. Now, if you're not talking to us, yes, the cabal are lying scumbags, total crap, and the same old lies. But I am not going to tell you that things aren't changing, because things are changing at a breakneck pace. Over 3.5, 4 months ago, I told you on this very show, you're going to have a series of events like speedboats in a circle, and they're all going to start their engines at once, and everything's going to go towards the center, and they're all going to crash. It's all going to happen all at once. It's happening now. Okay, everything that I predicted is happening now. I don't care whether you like me. If you don't like me, if you don't like our team here, turn the channel. Go someplace else, okay? If you like us and you're referring to the cabal, then you're on our team and we welcome you. But listen.
Chance, I just wanted to say something real quick, Chance. That is a perfect example of what I just said. Broad, no clarity. It's a statement that doesn't identify or is non-objective.
Yeah. And Brian, you were talking about this very thing in the last show that I was on with you guys, and what they would be saying, what these people would be saying. It's like you knew beforehand. Oh, hang on. Wow.
I did.
Yeah. But it's water off a duck's back to me. I really don't care what people think. They can think this right up until it happens, because that's the only time they're going to believe it is when it happens, and they're going to be all caught off guard, and then they're going to say, I wish I listened to them.
The first,
what's that old saying about who has the last laugh?
We tried to tell you.
Go ahead, Chance.
the first breath you take, you say source's name. I can't do it. I can't do it right, but it's the last breath you take is his name.
Yeah. You breathe his name all the time.
Okay. You're saying his name. He is the breath of life. Okay. Yeah, Ken, I get it. Brian does need his own show. I'm trying to talk him into it. He's talking way over most of your heads, but all you got to do is close your mind and open your heart and listen, because the answers are in your heart. They're not in your head. RV News, I just gave you the biggest part of it at the beginning. Everybody has to be processed before November 6th. Why would they pick November 6th as a date?
Because the Q drops. So.
Well, here's the thing. Captain Marvel and I are of the opinion there isn't going to be an election. We think something's going to mess it up, and by rights it should, because of the Supreme Court phantom ruling about the Brunson case. And this is a complicated deal, and most people, they want just the RV news because all they're thinking about is money. Money. Okay, we need money. We all need money. I need money. You need money. Okay, what'd that say? Put that back up. Family, if these evil globalists can create what they have done to us, we now know we can use our energy to manifest the opposite of what they want. That's right. And we can't manifest as an individual. We have to use money in order to change the narrative. That is our way of manifesting until our vibrations rise so high that we don't need money. And that's what we're trying to get to, okay? West Virginia, yesterday, okay? Or the day before. West Virginia's governor's home burned to the ground. Burning evidence, okay? The wildfires in Wyoming, hardly anybody knows about what's going on. The power outages in Canada, the power outages in Cuba, hardly anybody knows what's going on, okay? You know what happened to Gitmo during the hurricanes? Does anybody know? Has anybody talked about what's happened to Gitmo? No, nobody knows. I know. I got a contact there. Okay. And he's from right here in Donaldson, Iowa. And he told me they have got bunkers. They have got DUMs, their versions of DUMs at Gitmo. And when the hurricane came, they just all went down and took prisoners with them. They all went down there underground. They waited it past them to come back up, clean up, and it's business as usual as Gitmo. Nobody knew that. Nobody's talked about that. You know, it could have been if the energy weapon that created the hurricanes, if the HARP machine was trying to take out Gitmo, well, guess what? You lose. Okay. Nobody has reported any of this stuff. So much of the stuff that I have reported and Captain Marvel has reported, it hasn't been reported by other people because they don't know. Okay. I am very blessed. I'm a musician. I play 3 instruments fluently. I sing. I'm an entertainer with my daughter and my son in our band. We haven't done the band because our bass player died. And I was right here and I started selling. I've been selling musical equipment online. And all of a sudden, I meet this general who buys 2 bass guitars from me. He knows all about the RV. And I had already invested in some. And he knew all about it. And so he started educating me. And then I went on this other show, and it was powerful. And I said, I really enjoyed being on the show because I got to share the information that I got. And then I was sitting on the couch with my dogs, and you need to call Gene. You need to call Gene. You need your own show because you got a big mouth and you're not afraid to say things. And I am not. I'm not scared of anybody. You want to take me out? Go ahead and take me out. It's fine. RV or going home to Jesus, I'm ready either way. Okay. But I do the right things here on this realm. I do the best that I can. I have the love of everybody in my heart. And when somebody like Debbie's daughter down in Florida or Drew in Colorado and they get thrown in jail and you don't know what this affects me. What is the RV? It's the revaluation of currencies. What is it? Okay, that was a good one. That was the best question of the day. What is the RV, Captain Marvel Jr.?
Well, it is the RV is when all of the currencies around the world are put onto the same level. They're all parity, all gold backed, right? Sovereign money. It is sovereign money. The governments are all sovereign, like us. We are all sovereign, and all the money is going to get revalued. So a lot of currencies that are very, like low, they're going to be lifted up, and others are going to be brought down. But it's all going to be dead even across the world.
One for
all
one,
backed by gold. That's what
That's
the
right.
RV is. And that is separate to the QFS. All right. And that is separate again from Nasara and Jasara. So there's a lot of things. So if you're only just learning about this now, you need to stay in this group of people, and they will help educate you as to what's going on, and they'll point you in the right direction. That's the best I can do for you. Okay, Chance?
Yep, that's fantastic. It's not a recreational vehicle. That's true. Do you remember when Trump was talking when he was in office and he said, I think I'll get myself an RV and me and the first lady will travel around? What do you think he was talking about? He wasn't talking about recreational vehicle. He was talking about the RV of the currencies. Listen, this plan, the Q movement and everything started in the 1950s with a bunch of military discontents that
Eisenhower. Yep.
Under Eisenhower, no less. And you remember what happened during Eisenhower's term that was on the front page of the National Enquirer? He met with the first alien. Okay, I'm going to read this. Hey, Chance, military laws, orders, and courts are separate from federal laws, orders, and courts. We are at a war. Yes, we are. That's true. Military courts are in control. That is correct. How does the Brunson case have a standing since it's federal? Because even though the republic is not in effect until it is officially
announced.
Yes, it is officially announced.
But they've all been
The
settled.
corporation is legally bankrupt, corrupt, and it's finished. It doesn't have anything. The United States currency is worthless outside of the United States. Did you know that? Okay. Now, if you didn't learn anything today, then you could learn something by watching Temu. Okay. Is it true Wise accounts are not available in the USA? That is wrong. There are accounts available. Go and sign up. You just won't get your debit card. When your currency revalues inside of your personal account, then you could go and you could transfer it almost instantly to your bank. Okay? There's many aspects to this. Now, if you don't understand a lot of this, especially on the RV redemption process, I have a set of papers. They're called the RV protocol papers, and they are $50. And if you send me an email to chancemusic@yahoo.com, I will send you the information on how to order them. Okay? People in Australia, United Kingdom, Switzerland, every country in Europe have bought them. And one lady came on the show with a question. She said, I guess I would feel like I'm going to the redemption center naked if I hadn't read these first. Okay? There is so much information. And these were, I tell the truth on everything these RV papers were given to me by a very educated woman. Do you have to put money into the Wise account? Of course you do. You have to put at least $50 in.
But I would like to say something. But please, people, don't make him repeat himself. Think about the question if it's really has a legitimacy to be answered. I'm not bashing or anything, but this is a perfect example where you need to use your own discernment, where you need to kind of think about, does someone really need to answer this for me? It's really important.
Now, Chance, before you move on to your next point, Chance, I just want to tell you that I bought the protocol documents from Chance. I read through them. I learned things. I actually learned things just by reading them. So there was a few things I did not know about at all. So I can tell you, I highly recommend them. And for the price you're paying for them, you're getting a lot of good information, and it will absolutely help you. Okay? And Chance will email them to you, so it's instant. The moment you pay it, you'll get them. So I do recommend it.
And Cash App or Zelle in the United States is 319-561-0064. And also, if you're overseas and you want them, send me an email at chancemusic@yahoo.com. I'll give you my Wise account. You can deposit the money into my Wise account, and then I'll send them on over to you. Okay? We have, because of the wise.com information that I and other people have given you in this event, I'm literally going to be responsible for the making of probably 100,000 millionaires. And if you think I'm kidding, I'm not. This was brought to me by the White Hats 3 years ago, before I even had a show. And I had an account and I had no money. And, COVID came, my music store sales dropped down to nothing. And so I put $5 here and $5 there into the Wise account. Sometime I had to go get money out of it. I have a Visa card with them. They will have the Visa cards available here directly after the RV is over. You will probably be getting yours because Wise.com will be part of the quantum financial system. No, you cannot take your physical currency and deposit it into you can't take your Vietnamese dong, you can't take your Iraqi dinar, you can't take your Indonesian rupiah. You cannot deposit it into Wise.com. They will only deposit United States dollars from the country that you are in. So if you're in Switzerland, then the Swiss franc is the only currency that they're going to accept a deposit on. You follow what I'm saying? Okay. So, yes, you have to have money to do it. I am showing you, I am giving you this gift to teach you, to instruct you to go to wise.com, set up your account. If you don't know how to do it, you get stuck, go to YouTube, watch videos on wise.com. They'll tell you how to do it. But do not talk about the RV to any of the customer service reps. They will think you're crazy, and they won't let you set up an account. They know nothing about it, okay? They're just telemarketers. They have a script to read. If you have a problem, and then if they can't help you, then they move you on to a supervisor, but their customer service is adequate, but barely, okay? Because there's people. Is it true there will be no election? We hope not, Linda. Video just came out on hidden camera showing mail-in ballots in Bucks County, PA, being torn up by a lady counting votes, tearing up all Trump ballots. Well, we get it. Okay, we get it. Now, I'm going to go down to the courthouse and vote, just in case there is an election. And I will insist on a copy of my vote afterwards. Not before, afterwards. After it goes through a machine, you have a right to make sure they didn't swap the vote, because that's what they do, okay? Now, Wise is available in the U.S. They aren't sending out physical debit cards right now. Why are they not sending out physical debit? You can get a virtual one. It'll give you a number or anything. But why aren't they sending any physical debit cards out? Well, that's because you're getting ready to get your quantum card, okay? And why isn't it allowed in Australia to have a debit card but not in the States? Well, because I think I don't know. I think if you want to know what I really think, I'm going to tell you what I really think. I think because of my shows, so many people have just absolutely just attacked wise.com, setting up new accounts. And I think this guy personally has overwhelmed them. If you really want to know what I really think, and subsequently, if I were to give you guys a link to sign up at, I could have got $115 for each one of you, each 5 of you that signed up under my link. But I didn't do it. Okay?
James, I have to say something. So just so you know, that's his ego talking right there. Okay, I had to make that note. You're like, it's all my doing. They're James.
I'll give you another reason why. I'll give you another reason why.
Felt like it was
Wise are not going to be issuing any more cards. And that is because
I really think that's a reason.
They are tied to Visa. And Visa is going to go down because they're not ISO 222 compliant, Basel III compliant. There's
the answer. I salute you, Captain. Good work.
Or it has to mirror.
I salute you. Thank you. But it wasn't making any sense to me. I didn't know anything about Visa. See, you just educated me. That's why it's a good thing you're on this show, because and when I make a mistake, I make a mistake. But, I was sure feeling good about myself, thinking I made all these.
Sorry, I had to knock you off your pedestal right there. It's like, come on.
Okay. All right. Hang on.
You should have been a bit more gentle, Brian. I think you should have let him have it.
I kind of did. I didn't say nothing because Chance does so much for so many people. And I'm sure you do, Captain, and Brian does too. And I try to do the same thing. But once in a while, if you don't give yourself the credit for what you do, it's just, it's not like you deserve it, but you're not trying to be egotistical. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
no, you got to give yourself a pat on the back.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
The reason why I said it is to poke fun.
I know.
Right?
I know
that. The
Brian.
best part is, we have to make fun of ourselves because we're still in an avatar, and no matter what density you're in, you're always going to have some sort of ego. I'm sorry.
Hey, that's fine, man. That's fine. You didn't hurt my feelings.
I know I didn't.
I love input from other people because then I can take it, and I can bounce it around in my head, and I can use what fits. And when you put something like that, well, Captain just straightened me out right there. I was thinking, I've got so many people to be millionaires because of me. Okay, yeah.
And
I sound
I'm
like
going
a
to make an
cranky old
announcement.
man.
I'm going to make an announcement too right now because this is very important. Over the last show the Captain was on, we had over 200 people. Usually on our shows we get like around 190, 200. Right now, according to this software, it shows that we have almost 800 people. Thank you, Captain. That's more than a 50% increase in 1 week. Do you realize that, Chance?
Yeah, I get it. And that's just that software, and that's just that platform.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's YouTube and Facebook, but it's still, a lot.
These are the people who came over from Rumble, from my channel, and from Twitter. So
that is
X.
beautiful.
So welcome, guys. Really, really good to have you amongst us. And I hope like what we in this discussion, we have a bit of fun, as you can tell, but we do share some very serious stuff, and we try to get the right information to everybody. Now, if we're wrong, I for one will always admit I'm wrong, and I will apologize.
Me too. Me too. Absolutely.
The thing is, we've got to. We're not selling hopium. We're not selling fear porn. Right? All we're trying to do is I'm trying to navigate my way through this mess, and along the way I've tried to help other people because I want to bring people along with me because I don't want to be there after the RV and everything by myself. I'll get lonely. So
Well, we're all like minds, and the fact that God put us together for the last 2 weeks, I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing. I have to say something before we go on this train of thought. Why is the Vietnamese currency the best one to buy? Because it's a home run. It's the only currency it's the only currency that's going to be active before and after the RV. Okay, it's a home run.
It has to do what took place over there. So it's just something that you're not going to know with all the information because you don't live or understand what happened there. So there's a lot of reparations and like what is it? Punitive damages, right?
Yeah.
Like decades worth. People need, to be reimbursed.
Okay. Wise.com is a multi-currency account based in the UK with offices in the United States. This is the last time I'm saying this, okay? You set up an account, put $50 in there, transfer the currency over into Vietnamese dong, sit back and wait for it to revalue in the next few days. No, they do not accept Zim bonds. You can't put any physical currency into it except the fiat currency. This is why White Hat's approved.
You're bypassing the third party. Okay, there we go. That's the logical side that you need to pay attention to. You want to bypass the middleman so you could just go straight to doing it yourself without any interference.
Yeah.
I think we can literally do a show on the Wise account myself because
we did that once. We did that once.
I might even do a video about the Wise account for people to better understand it. But it may be a little bit late in the game to go and get a Wise account now. You only got a couple of days left.
If it changes tonight, those the Johnny Come Latelys are going to be empty pocketed. Okay.
Yeah. So as soon as this show ends, get in and so as soon as this show ends, get in and get your Wise account started up. Okay, because it will have a cutoff at some point. But yes, I will do a video on the Wise account so that you understand what it does and how. I'll even show you how it works. How's that?
Beautiful.
Can't do much better than that. But the thing is, the med beds. There's a question that came up about med beds. Do we have any news on that? Look, when this RV happens and you go to do your exchange and whatnot like that, it is more than likely that you will be told about the med beds and their availability. And you may even be able to be pointed in the direction of getting an appointment or you'll have somebody there who will know about them, and you will be able to get an appointment. Okay.
Please.
So it's all, as I say, all these things are going to rolling out at around about the same time. Okay.
So
what? Oh, hang on. His head's being done in.
So please be aware. Do not be reliant on the med beds.
Yeah.
You have to take initiative before you go in the med bed.
Right.
And if someone says, I'm sorry, let's say that someone's holding tons of magnets on them, and then they just start laying them across your body, even though you're standing vertically.
Yeah.
They're going to say, you're going to need some work.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Take care of yourself, be responsible, and then look forward to the idea of rejuvenation.
Yeah.
I want to make that announcement too, guys. If anybody's from Rumble or is here from Captain Marvel, just put in the comments. We'd like to know. And where you're from, your location. We appreciate that.
They've been doing it. They've been doing that, Doc. They've been doing that. Yeah. And there's quite a few people that have come
Rumble,
across.
that's great. Thank you.
And I'm glad that they're here, because now they're going to get some real information, in a lighthearted and happy way, because it's not all doom and gloom, And that's the great thing about this chat. There's no doom and gloom.
That's right. We have nothing but love and positive energy here, and that's what we try to put out. Hey, but listen, there's 3 options here. Okay, this is your 3. To say that there's a reset financially, there's 3 financial resets. First of all, the reset of gold and silver. That's the most important. The second financial reset is the WISE account, and the third financial reset is the RV. Okay. So if you don't know what an RV is, then you probably don't own any foreign currency and you don't know what's getting ready to happen. I have multiple videos on this channel. Okay. Hamilton Radio 1. Okay. You can go and look at the old shows and you can watch them. We cannot spoon feed all these new people that are coming into the group. We want to, but there's just so many hours in the day. And you're here because Captain said to be here. Hey, we appreciate you, brother. Thank you, or sister, whatever the case may be. At this time, this is very important to me, and it's important to you. We have family in this group. And for those that are just joining us for the first time, you're now part of our family, whether you want to be or not, okay? And my email address is chancemusic@yahoo.com. I will send you all the information you need to know to be on my other broadcasts. And what I want you to do now is give us a few moments of silence for family members. My friend Maria, number 1, her mother is very, very ill and not doing well, and we want to raise her up in vibration. We want her to heal. And we want Judy's daughter in Florida to be rose up in health, and she's starting to give up. We need to raise her vibrations. We need to add our love. My friend Drew in Colorado, he's being treated like a criminal, and he's not one. He's one of the smartest guys, and he's a young man, like 35 years old, and he's in there unjustly. Doc MH from Ohio, she got convicted, and everything she ever owned stole from her, from a greedy relative who just happens to be a bar attorney and judge in California. I want you to pray for all these people. I want you to raise them up. And I want you to add whoever is in your family that's suffering from whatever they are suffering from. Okay? I want you to add their name to it. And let's say a prayer. Okay? I'm not much on praying, but I'm going to do my best. Okay? Heavenly Father, you know why we're all here tonight. You know what we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish. You know your children that are sick. You know every one of them. You know the ones that are being persecuted and prosecuted. You know the victims of this war. Please heal the sick. Please raise their vibrations so they can continue to be with us. Please release the persecuted and prosecuted. Please bring forth an era of peace, contentment, and light. I have asked it. I know you have received it. In Jesus' name, thank you. Amen. Sorry, I'm not better at praying than that, but as long as I say the words that comes from my heart, then I know Source is hearing us. Okay. I want nothing but the best for all of us.
Yeah.
For all of us. And it's kind of funny now. Thank you, Barbara. If you want to order the RV protocol papers, this is the last time I'm going to mention it, and then I'm going to read the intel. If you want to order the RV protocol papers, you cannot share them with everybody because they're copywritten. If you share them, then you've got to send me another $50, okay? If it wasn't for these donations and these protocol papers, I would have lost my home by now, okay? And without my good friend who bailed me out of a desperate situation. He's listening tonight, and I say thank you. I love you. And anyway, so any love offerings or to order the RV protocol papers, email me at chancemusic@yahoo.com if you are overseas. If you want the information on how to send the money by Cash App or Zelle, email me at chancemusic@yahoo.com or go into your Cash App and Zelle and put in the number 319-561-0064. It'll come up either Brian or Chance McFadden, and I will send them out to you yet tonight. I'm sitting in front of the computer. I have them all ready to go. I got a good, strong internet signal tonight. That is all I'm going to say about that. And the only thing is, I don't want you to show up naked to your appointment. Because if you don't get the RV protocol papers, it's like showing up naked. That means you aren't prepared. And that means, holy cow, we got orders coming in already. Okay, I want to read the intel. Okay, and it's short and it's sweet, but it's very, very good. And I also had a talk with the intake officer this morning, and I wished I could have got you in on the call, Captain, because it's what I can share with you is on the text, but what I can't share with you is we see the light at the end of the tunnel. We're coming at it very quickly. Okay, so I am going to read it to you right now. This was given to me at 10:52 a.m. yesterday. So we have no new notifications since 10:52 yesterday. The bank had a conference call with the United States Treasury and the Department of Defense at 9:30 Eastern. And we were informed the following: fines and penalties to be paid out within 36 hours. That would put it in sometime tomorrow. The bondholders' funds are already loaded and will be available when we get notified. Now, what that means is when the notifications start coming out to us by email, phone, or the currency dealer, what that means is the bondholders get their funds released. Okay? So they want us to go because they don't get paid until we get our notifications. This is why I told you I got good news, Doc. This is good news. Okay? And let's see. So we should know something this weekend. We are expecting the EAS Saturday, but it could happen tonight. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen Sunday. When we give you a date, it's not written in stone. Keep that in mind, okay? Notifications to currency holders should be sent out within 36 to 48 hours, okay? Now, let me explain that a little bit more. There's 100 million people worldwide out of the population of 9 billion on this realm, okay? So, where it's a private event of 100 million people, and it's going to take time to process them. But as I said earlier in the show, they have been given till November 6th to make all the notifications. So, this looks like what Trump said about we're going to have a very good Christmas this year. It looks like. Actually, I'm going to tell you about that, Mary. Hang on a minute. Tell me about that 4% savings account.
Looks like a V for Vendetta moment. Remember in November? Yeah. Remember the 5th of November. When your Wise account flips and you want to put some into 4%, that's fine. But when you go in and you meet your wealth manager or you hire your wealth manager, do not doubt me on this. Do not doubt me on this. But the amount of currency that you have is going to depend on the negotiating that you can do on your interest rate. The more currency you have, the smaller amount you're going to get. And the less amount of currency you have, let's say you just have 100 trillion note. You're going to go in there and you're going to negotiate 15 to 20% if you're a smart negotiator. But like me, I'm going to probably get 6% if I'm lucky. Okay? That's the intel. I've given you all the intel. Thank you, Elsa. I'm glad you like it. I like it. And you'll get messages on your cell phone. We've already got orders for RV protocol paper. So thank you all so much. And love offerings too. And I thank you so much.
There was a couple of questions, Chance, that came up. The first one was about med beds and how they will be rolled out. They'll be rolled out on a needs basis, not by who you are or anything like that. So
exactly.
You got somebody who's stage 4 cancer, they're first. Stage 3, stage 2, stage 1, right? And then it goes down, it's triage, okay? Insofar as there was another question here, and I did have it. How will when the EBS goes off, how we get our notifications? You'll get your notifications before the EBS goes off.
Yes, you're going to get it by email, and you're going to get it by cell phone. Okay, and what's going to happen with the cell phone? You know how you get a notification if there's a post on YouTube or a post on Telegram or something like that. Okay. Well, you're going to get a notification, and it's going to be so damn loud, even if your phone is turned off, it's going to go off. And you're going to turn your phone on, you're going to see what's going on, and it's going to say, go home and turn on the TV.
Yeah.
If you have a smart TV,
but it's about the notifications for the exchange, though, Chance.
Yes.
But the notification for the exchange, for these exchanges, will happen before the EBS sounds. Okay, so you'll get them in your email before the EBS sounds, because nothing's going to happen after the EBS goes off, except the 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week video. All right.
Right.
Which explains everything that's been going on.
I want to add something to Captain's MedBed information. I have a friend who's probably listening tonight. His name's Drew. We call him Uncle Drew. Uncle Drew, unfortunately, had both of his legs from the knee down amputated and is sitting in a vet's home being treated marginally well. Okay? That's bullshit. Okay? But When I told him, I said, "You're going in for your appointment." He says, "Yes, I will get there." And I said, "Good." Because when you go in and you walk in and they see your physical status, they're probably going to move you right then and there to a medbed facility. And I
But
told
here's
him that, and that's what I've heard. And so for the people like Judy's daughter who's too sick to travel, there's going to be portable units that are going to be able to come to your location. Hang in there, Judy's daughter. We love you. We want you to be with us for a long time. And you got to be at my party next spring. You know, we're gonna have a party in St. Louis, so you got to be to that party. And gosh, the RV protocol papers, Cash App or Zelle is 319-561-0064. It's on the screen if you're watching. Was there other questions that popped up there, Doc? When is the EBS?
I'm trying to get them so many. There's so many. It's like what you see is like I'm seeing like 100 come through, and I miss so many. So, when is the EBS? Go ahead.
Someone said something about the difference between a med bed and a celestial chamber.
Celestial chamber. Yeah, guys, there was one. Yep.
Another. It's just an elevated version of a med bed. A med bed's a med bed. If you're thinking celestial chamber, that sounds something that you would probably go in from the astral side. To be honest, that's something like from physicality, where you're kind of incorporeal.
You're not far off on that, Brian. I happen to know a little bit about that because I know a lady that has been trained on all 4 of the med beds. The very first version of a med bed is the canisters that generate a certain energy, and they put multiple canisters under a bed. And there's a place in Oklahoma that's doing that right now. They have like 8 or 12 canisters, 5-gallon canisters of this energy, and you sleep in it, and it helps heal you while you're in there. It's all frequency and vibration based. Follow me, Brian, because everything is frequency and vibration anyway. Okay. So, but they're charging $600 a day, and they're not supposed to be charging anything. And and let me tell you something. The intake officer and I talked about this, and so basically, what we're going to do is we are going to fly down there, and we're going to have a little talk with them. And I will, it's going to be free or else, and that's not even the top. The celestial is the top. There's another med bed. That's not really a bed. It's like a mirror that hangs on the wall, and it'll permeate your entire house, your entire apartment. It'll permeate the walls even. So people that don't even have it, and if you're in an apartment or something like that, it'll go through the walls because it's another type of med bed that people are not aware of. Magic Jeff's listening tonight, and he knows about it because him and I are both involved in the company that is manufacturing this bed. And I'm not sure what to do with the card, though. You don't have to do anything with the card, okay? Linda Winger, you have money in the account. You have it saved in Vietnamese dong. When it comes time, you can use that card just like you use any debit card anywhere, okay? So listen, yes, celestial chambers can regrow your limbs. From what I'm being told, Captain, I don't know if you got more information than I do. The celestial med beds, if you're going to fix your spine, regrow legs, limbs, whatever, it takes about 2 hours and 20 minutes, and you have to go in once during the day, once in the morning, and then come back once in the night.
Well, but sorry, Chance. So there's a problem with, and it's not. Here's the problem with the med beds. This is why I am encouraging people to not put your attention on it, period. There are a lot of different variations. Okay. We know that there are dry pods, but there are also pods with fluid, right? These pods, you are severely damaged and you have to go in an immersion pod that has a lot of fluid. Expect to be in those pods for months. Now, why am I saying months? because they have to do something with your stem cells. So your stem cells have to like be regenerated to its authenticity is the best way I can phrase it. So like before anything, like a reset, it's literally a reset. So they're resetting the vessel and they have to select parts. So I don't know what they have down here. I hope they're equivalent to or at least good, but I do know what they have interstellar wise. And these are the ones that they traditionally use. So we're going to have to just play it by ear and hope for the best.
That's exactly right. And because there's so different variations in the med beds, different people are going to have to qualify for different med beds. So some will be on military bases, some will be on private centers. The canister ones are the ones that are probably going to be on private centers, and then the other ones are going to be available. The ones that are like a full length mirror. There's all kinds of different med beds, and that's because they can't supply the celestial ones as quickly as they need to. Now, 86,000 med beds are available in the United States right now, but you cannot go in until the military gives the okay on it. Okay, so keep that in mind. Do we have any other questions there, Doc G?
Oh, there's so many. I just want to let you know I blocked Einstein. I think he was a troll.
He's trolling. I know.
Yeah, he was definitely trolling. So I blocked him. I had to find a way to do it because I've never blocked anybody before. But because so many people, we had all kinds of people here, so that's why I blocked him. Yeah.
It is not fear porn.
See, that's the other part you don't know too with the people.
Look, we've been telling people for years to get money out of the bank, right? Because this is going to be a big transition. We're going from one system over to a completely new system, and there is a transitional period when there's going to be chaos. Now, the thing about that chaos is that you've got to be prepared for it. If you've got money out of the bank and you put it into a Wise account, or you've just got it in cash underneath your mattress, you're going to be able to get through this because, you're still going to have to go to work. You're still going to have to do these things, right? You need money, right? So when, what's going to happen if you don't have enough food? You're going to starve. So this is an opportunity to get your food stock up. With cash in your hand, you can do trading when the banks are closed because with the EBS and the 10 days of darkness, right, the banks aren't going to be open. There's also a time, a period where there's martial law. You won't be able to go out to the shop because the shop won't be open, right? So you've got to have money on hand for where you can do trading amongst other people once it all comes out. Right, so you go and buy gas so you can get into your car and go to work, or to have money on hand in case it breaks down. You've got to have money for your children because I'm telling you now, the bank of Dad is. I'm 63, and I'm telling you now, the bank of Dad is still open with my daughter as well, as far as my daughter's concerned. Right, you've got to have cash, but if you can't go take your money out. If they're changing over the money from the fiat to the treasury note at the bank and whatnot, right?
Yep, but here's the thing.
Are you going to be able to get the money out of the ATM? Probably not, because they're going to be turned off. So you've got to be prepared for this. So it's not fear porn; it's being prepared, guys.
But here's the thing, Captain Marvel, and now I'm talking to the public. Be objective and know. Whatever choices you make, your journey is quite proper for you, no matter what, especially if you're single. So I'm saying this to the single people. So if hardship is part of your lessons and you need it for growth, more power to you. Now, this is for the people that are like me that have kids. Don't take chances on behalf of your kids. That's all I'm going to say, because I will be livid And I would have a right to, because I know what it's like to be a parent, and I'm all about preparedness. So it's really important. And just to comment real quick on someone said of like, aren't we going to be able to like get everyone in line or save all the people? I'm like, no, you're Truman right now. You're your own show. You do this all alone. It's just how it is. And just to throw in the reset that Chance didn't tell you, you have Ascension, but Ascension's private. Same thing. It's a private affair. You're thinking it's a collective affair. I'm like, oh no, it's just as private as this physical RV, believe it or not. It's all about your choice, your realm, your point of view, and how you navigate the next now moment. Be clever, be crafty, but also be transparent in how you do things, and learn how to be abundant, or to have abundance in a way that doesn't reflect materialism. Perfect example is I needed $2,500 to fix my car, and I got to bypass the third person. No coincidence. One of the managements was out there. He was interested in silver. I got to bypass it. Bypass the third party. He didn't get taxed. I needed it. It was divine timing. That is a type of abundance. He saved money. Didn't have to pay $600 on tax. I got $2,000. Powerful, simple for a nuanced statement that took place in action. But also at the same time, you still have to take action. You can't sit on the sidelines.
Yeah.
That's it.
There's one thing that's been not brought up, and that is not all the banks have been taken down yet. Okay, the ones that aren't ISO compliant, they haven't been taken down, and who knows what bank manager or employee or vice president or CEO, CFO decides to do a bail-in on your money. You know what a bail-in is? Look it up. It's legal. The banks, in order to survive and to continue to be liquid, they can steal your money. I already stopped it from one woman in Des Moines, Iowa. I'm not going to repeat that story. It's been told 2 or 3 different times. And believe me, they can steal your money. Okay. If I wasn't a constitutional lawyer and I didn't make the phone call, the woman had never got her money back. Okay. Are the credit unions going down? Yeah, they will, but some of them are getting compliant too right now. I am, and I'm very upset that there isn't a website where I can find out who is compliant and who isn't. We're just going to have to go to the president of the bank or the CFO, the chief financial officer, and say, I need to know if you're ISO 2022 compliant.
Actually, you can find out. There's a way. You have to go on the Stellar network, and then you can look at associated banks and companies through different currencies. It's a lot of research. Like I researched it for a year because I do understand XRP, XLM, and XTC, and algo, and a lot of precious metals. But in the end, you have to look at the Stellar network, and then it'll show you a diagram of what's connected to where. And it's going to show some of your nefarious banks, but that just means they have been hijacked, right? So they've been taken over or reestablished, but for a better purpose. So that's something for everyone else to do as an individual.
Okay, go ahead, Captain.
Well, as I say, we've just got to be prepared for the worst and hope for the best with all of this, I mean, common sense must prevail. If you don't have cash and you can't do anything during this transition because the ATMs are closed, because the banks are closed, because they haven't been compliant and whatnot, how are you going to buy anything? So, use this, please.
Yeah, and bail-ins are a real thing, so don't think that they're not. And I know a lot of bankers that are going to try to. In fact, I already know one that's been arrested. Okay, I already know one in particular. I don't know didn't know him personally, but was told by a lady that I worked with, and she said, "Yeah, he got arrested, and I got my money that I was supposed to get." So that it's a real thing. Doc G, what are your final thoughts for tonight?
Bob, before my final thoughts, I just want to tell you a quick recap in the story you just were saying about the banks, because I just went through this with a bank. I went in to get my normal money out, no problem. But there was a person next to me that wasn't aware of what was going on. And I was telling him, I said, listen, I said, you got a lot of money in this bank, right? He said, yeah, I got like 19 grand in there. I said, well, why don't you take at least half of that out? And he went up there and he said, listen, I'd like to get my money right now, as much as I can, out of my account, because I just have a feeling that I'm going to need it to buy a car. My car just went, this uses a story. And he took it out. The next person that went up to get their money, they said they had to wait 5 days before they can get the money. So that proves exactly what you're saying. There's no money in the bank. It's just because of somebody else's money that's supposed to be there. Some people leave it there. Some people don't. Like you and I, we're smart. We take our money out. We put it in as we need it. And that's what I do. I play the game.
Yeah.
But my thoughts are, listen to these gentlemen. I mean, not just me. I mean, I'm a nobody. But these guys, Captain Marvel, Chance. I listen to Chance all the time. Him and I have conversations. Fascinating Brian. These are the guys that are telling you the honest truth of what's going on. Whether you like the other guys or not, or I don't know. My point is, listen to the people that you can tell who are honest, telling you the truth, and they know what's going on. They're the ones I'm listening to. So that's my final thoughts.
Thank you, Doc. Fascinating Brian, what's your final thoughts for tonight?
So my final thoughts are for the new people. If you are suffering from ADHD, chronic migraines, erectile dysfunction, depression, or bipolar, I cured myself of all those ailments 8 years back. Lots of relearning. Otherwise, I wouldn't be who I am today. It took a couple of years, lots of hard work, lots of energy. If you are ready to move forward and liberate yourself and move to a different frequency, you need to do a lot of hard work. I also do spiritual consultation. And my number is 774-208-2377. Please leave a message, because I do not answer my phone until I hear the voicemail, because we get a lot of scans now, so I have to answer.
Thank you, Brian. Cap Marvel Jr., what say you for your final thoughts tonight?
Well, apart from being prepared for, having emergency cash on hand and whatnot like that, I think we all need to have a bit of time with the Lord Jesus Christ and his Father, and our Father for that matter. I think we need to do that. I think we need to start, getting right with God, whether you have a relationship with him or not. Now is the time to do it, because what is going to come, as I said earlier in the show, it's been prophesied that the earth will shake. Now we've had the earthquakes all around the world, but where the real shaking occurs is in the soul of every man, woman, and child on this planet. That's where you're going to have your come to Jesus moment if you have not gotten yourself right with God. I'm telling you that now. So get prepared for that, and it's all going to happen. Insofar as the financial crash is expected, I'm saying it's most likely going to be the 28th, because the last two crashes that have occurred on the stock market have occurred on the 28th of October each time. Third time's a charm, shall we say. But the med beds will fix us all up. It'll get rid of the nanos that they put in us. But we'll get that when the exchange happens. But, we've just got to move forward in a positive way and bring as many people with us as we possibly can. And this is the critical time, folks. So spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, get yourself prepared. That's all my thoughts for today.
Thank you, Captain. The last thing I just put it up on the screen. The last thing it was just up. Somebody said the banks will never fail. I hate to tell you this, but since the year 2000s, okay, be happy 22/11/6. Hey, listen to what I'm saying. Do your own research, okay? I'm not up here to look at this handsome 72-year-old face, okay? I'm here to help you guys. And since 2020, there have been 3,050 banks worldwide that have failed. Do your math. Do your research. Or don't. And just it's fine.
These people I appreciate the most because they're going to have their aha moment.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to feel very sheepish. Very sheepish. But you need to honor that. That is the important thing. So please do due diligence. Think for yourself is number one. Be your own limitless creator. And right back at you.
That's right. And the thing is, don't believe every word we say. Go and do your own research.
Thank you.
Check what we're saying out. You can do it. It's called an internet search.
Yeah, and okay.
Just look up how many, like ask DuckDuckGo, how many banks have been foreclosed on in the United States in the last 12 months. He'll come back with a result.
But don't do it on Google because the cable guys own Google. They're going to put whatever number out there they want.
DuckDuckGo. Do it on DuckDuckGo. You'll get a result.
Yeah, DuckDuckGo is a good one. Guys, so my final thoughts are be good to each other, love yourself, and love everybody else. Say prayers for the sick. Give a sandwich to the hungry. If you can give them a roof over their head for the night, that helps. We're here to take care of each other. We weren't created as narcissists. Narcissism is something that the dark side has created, and we're here to help each other. We're here to help each other blossom. We're to help each other vibrate. We're, learn about grounding, learn about vibration, learn about frequency.
Expansion.
Become the best you can be. Okay. And I'm going to say this one more time because it keeps coming up on the screen. But what if the dollar tanks? No bank will survive. Robert, you got the whole thing wrong. It's a reset. It's do-over, okay? You're not getting what's happening, okay? We want you to understand, but you need to go back and listen to some of my early shows, okay? We can't keep, okay? Let me tell you something, okay? I'm going to tell you something that I've said before, and if you think I'm blowing smoke up your butt, you send me $50 and I'll send you a copy of the documents. Trump paid off the national debt in 2018, and I got the documents to prove it. So everybody keeps talking about the national debt, we're so far in debt, we're never going to get out of debt. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit, okay? Okay? If you want me to prove it to you, put your money where your mouth is, because I know. I've got the documents. I've sent them to people. And they go, oh, my God, everything is a lie. And I said, yes, everything is a lie. That's my final thoughts. My final thoughts are get educated if you're not already. If you don't understand any of the language that we're speaking, learn it. Because it's a whole new world. And whether you make it to the other side or not is going to depend on you. Not me, not Fascinating Brian, not Captain Marvel Jr., and not Doc G. It's going to depend on you. You got to do the work, okay? My interest in the law started with Perry Mason. And to see how corrupt our court system has actually become since the 50s, it blows my mind. I love you guys. I'm Chance McFadden. Thank you to Doc G, my special guest, Captain Marvel Jr., the fascinating Brian. And we're going to be back here next week. We hope Captain can join us. I love you all. Y'all come back now here.